Picture this. You and your partner share a moment of closeness, but something feels off. Maybe unspoken desires, maybe unmet needs linger. Did you know that 70% of couples say that open talks about sex skyrocket their intimacy, yet most avoid them and they're stuck in silence? I'm Amanda Pasciucco, PhD in human sexuality, and I've seen countless couples transform their relationships. And how do they do this? Through honest dialogue that I'm going to talk to you about today. First, understand why this matters. It's really important. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that open talks boost satisfaction and they cut resentment. Talking creates trust. Silence creates assumptions and storytelling. Imagine assuming your partner reads your mind. Guess what? They cannot. They were raised entirely different from you. Therefore, effective communication must enhance pleasure and prevent misunderstandings by explaining your views and your opinions. It's the foundation of a thriving sex life. Beyond that, studies in the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy indicate that couples who discuss sexual needs regularly experience lower stress levels and higher overall relationship satisfaction and quality. Think about it. When you express desires clearly, you invite mutual exploration, turning routine into excitement. Conversely, unaddressed issues can lead to emotional distance in couples. One client couple I worked with a while back was avoiding talking. They were just for years not sharing what was happening, which led to so much frustration. Once the couple started sharing more, discussing their desires, what might be a fantasy, their connection started flourishing. So prioritize this. It's not just about sex, it's about holistic partnership on multiple levels. So how do you start? Create a safe space. I know that sounds odd, but by that, what I mean is choose a neutral time and place, not your bedroom, away from the bedroom, and a time where you're both relaxed, not during or right after sex. Set ground rules. No judgment, keep it private. Normalize vulnerability. Everyone's gonna feel awkward the first dozen times they do this because it's new. If you don't wanna look foolish, you'll never be wise in anything. You have to start somewhere. Life is awkward. So let's start with empathy. I value our connection. I want us both to feel fulfilled. That might be one way you can start the conversation. And 3 ways to set this tone. First, acknowledge shared goals like I want us to feel closer, I want to be more connected. Share what the intention is of why you're talking in that moment. This aligns you as a team. Next, affirm your commitment. I'm bringing this up because I care about our intimacy and your pleasure as much as I care about mine. This reassures your partner of your positive intention. Next, invite mutual input. I'd love to hear what makes you feel good too, so we can explore this together. That type of dialogue fosters reciprocity. From the beginning, attachment theory tells us that safety encourages openness, as evidenced by countless therapy sessions. For instance, in secure attachments, partners respond better to vulnerability. If you're anxious about starting, most people are, practice alone first. What do I mean? Rehearse your opening lines in a mirror or to yourself on a video or a voice memo on your phone. This foundation makes honest sharing possible and sets the stage for productive dialogue. If you can't have these conversations with just yourself, you definitely can't have them with a partner. With safety in place, focus on your language. Use I statements to own your feelings. I feel excited when we try new things, not you never want to be spontaneous. Those are 2 things that are very different, and it matters because this avoids blame and defensiveness. We want to be specific about desires, boundaries, and feedback. Like, I'd love more foreplay to build anticipation. See how that's framed positively? Emphasize what you want, not just stating your problems. A lot of people learn to just state their problems. And per studies in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy, when you compare, you always rush, that sparks defensiveness. But instead you can say, I enjoy when we take our time together. That was shown to invite collaboration. Let's add a little more examples for clarity. Suppose you want to introduce toys. Saying, I've been curious about trying a vibrator together because I think it could heighten our sensations. Versus what I hear a lot of people say, our sex life is boring. And then when we talk about boundaries, saying something like, I prefer not to be tickled during intimate moments. It pulls me right out of the mood. Versus, stop tickling me. Those are very different in how you approach one another. For feedback after intimacy, that position felt amazing last time. Can we do more of that? That's positive reinforcement and it encourages repetition. Remember, clarity prevents misinterpretation. Vagueness leads to frustration. Drawn from cognitive behavioral therapy principles, specific language reshapes patterns effectively. Speaking is only half the equation. Now you have to master active listening. Reflect what you hear. It sounds like you want more spontaneity. Am I right? Validate without interruptions. I understand that feels important to you. That's validation. This builds empathy and it shows respect. Then dive deeper. Use open-ended questions like, what does that look like for you? To encourage someone to elaborate more. Avoid jumping to the solution. When you just try to fix a problem, sometimes your partner just needs to actually feel heard first. So when challenges arise like disagreement or rejection, pause, revisit it later. Definitely come back to it though. In the meantime, practice patience. Change takes a lot of time. And if you're able to role play in low-stake moments to hone these skills, for example, you can pretend to have a conversation over tea about a neutral topic first. The Journal of Sex Research confirms that couples who listen actively enjoy higher satisfaction and deeper bonds. In therapy, I teach the speaker-listener technique. One person speaks for a set time while the other only listens and sits in silence, and then they switch. This prevents escalation because each can only use body language to validate during that time. It's important to handle emotions gracefully. If tears or anger surface, you can say something like, I see this is tough. Let's do a breath together. Let's inhale. Let's exhale together. And over time, these skills turn potential conflicts into opportunities for connection and growth. And what does that do? It strengthens your emotional and physical bond to one another. Remember, build a safe space with empathy and shared goals. Use I statements and specifics to express clearly. Listen actively with reflection and validation without solving the problem. And handle hurdles with grace and patience. It takes many times to practice. These steps aren't just about sex. They deepen your partnership overall, fostering trust that spills into all areas of your life. Try one tip this week and notice the difference that it makes. Maybe start with a safe space conversation tonight. If this resonates, subscribe for more insights, hit like and the bell. Comment below on what's your biggest communication challenge or share an intimacy tip. Have a great week.